Alright guys, time for some much needed maintenance. I've already took care of it on the T7. I'll show you that in a second actually. With my rear axle bolt being, the bolt and the nut being galded up together. Let's see, here she is. Yeah, look at how bad that was. Not good, don't really know what caused it, but possibly user error, trash on the threads. Could have rolled a thread when I was reinstalling that axle, tapping on it with a wrench to get it through the back wheel. Anyway, lesson learned, pay better attention next time. Although I can honestly say I've never had anything like that happen before. And now we're going to be doing new bearings because our left side one over here is completely trashed.
Why still want a fully black one?
Just is. So I've got a very curious helper today. Money, money, money! Okay, one down. I was finally able to get the larger bearing puller to slide in. And that, getting that next size up in there, that made all the difference. It looks like the seals are just completely shot. Yeah. Not ideal. Okay. Alright, we should be able. There is our spacer sleeve. Alright, getting this bearing off this bearing puller collet is a job for me to handle off camera later. So since we've got this side bearing out and we've got the spacer tube out, we'll just beat out the other bearing from this side. Sounds like we got, there it is, loose spoke rattling. That thing is absolute. You can just hear it, sounds like crap. Absolute toast. Trying to get any dirt and debris, trash out of there before you hammer them in. Double check that they fit the axle shaft. And they do. Alright. And I do not have any assembly grease, so I'm going to put just the tiniest amount of something, motor oil, chain lube, just put something. Again, not a professional mechanic, so you do all this at your own risk. Alright, we've run into a little dilemma. Got a 27mm socket and a 22. This one's too small to be on the outside race. This one is too big to fit in the bore of the hub. So I started with the 27. We're gonna hammer it down as deep as we can. Which is right there. My socket's now hitting these 3 tabs, so we don't want to go any further. We're going to have to figure out another solution. As easily as this new one's going in there, and you could almost hammer on the inner race, given that those wore out old ones, you know, you pull them out by the inner race, but that's not a smart thing to do. So I'm gonna see if I can find a washer that's maybe the right size to fit inside those 3 tabs and be on the outer race, and then I can set any size socket on top of that and maybe drive her home that way. Alright, I wasn't able to find that, so the only other option you have is to hold your socket offset so that you're hammering on one side only, and tap it, and we'll walk that socket, making sure it's always in contact with the outer race, and making sure you're hammering on the socket on that side of the socket as well. And that's the only other option I got. It's not a good one, I don't like it, but without traveling somewhere, that's all I got. Alright, based on the sound, we are now bottomed out. And so then what we want to do is, you can look in from this side as well. Like, you won't be able to see it on the camera, but I can see we're up against the shoulder. So I'm going to flip it over, and then we are going to reinstall that. And that piece has a lot of slop in it. It can float around. So what you do before you hammer in the second side bearing is that. And that way, when you install the second bearing, that sleeve in the center of the bearings has absolutely no option but to end up in the correct spot. Again, no mechanic. I am a machinist, so but I am no professional mechanic. Alright, now I'm going to run into a big problem. I'm going to have to space this wheel up even higher to get this lower, because I can only go to the top of the ears with that. So let's do that and keep going. Alright, I'm at the top of the ears. Swap tires. There we go. Based on the sound change, I think we're there now. Let's see. That inner sleeve is still lined up 2 new dust covers. They are directional, in case you didn't know. Good. I don't know if you can see through there, but everything's still lined up. Now, where money? Alright, so I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this. We'll go ahead and get her a little higher up in the air. See if our noise has disappeared. Brake rotor rubbing the brake pads, but no squeal coming from the bearings. It feels buttery smooth. So there's a comprehensive, rather long, but comprehensive how-to, and this should apply to, I'm not going to say any motorcycle's front wheel, but probably 98% of them or something. Dirt bikes, adventure bikes, dual sports. Most of the time you'll see 3 bearings in a rear wheel, but 2 in a front, and it's the same kind of layout. So just like that, there you go, and we'll catch you on the next one.